Man, you know, I thought I'd be here for 6 months and now it's 25 years later.
Hey Leute, wir sind hier gerade in Kalifornien bei SDG und werden mal einen Blick hinter die Kulissen werfen, werden gucken, wo die ganzen Sättel herkommen. Und was ein ziemlich cooler Zufall ist, ich sitze hier auf dem Pickup-Truck von Cam Zink. Der ist nämlich zufällig auch gerade hier. Und jetzt gehen wir rein.
Especially being independent, you know, I mean, we don't have a lot of finance money behind us, you know, I mean, I still own, 100% of SDG. We kind of reinvest everything.
SDG ist kein riesiger Konzern, sondern eine kleine, unabhängige Firma in Kalifornien. Tyler besitzt 100% der Firma und konzentriert sich bewusst auf das, was sie wirklich können, anstatt überall mitzumischen. Das heißt, hier gibt es Sättel, Stützen und Griffe. Dabei arbeitet SDG mit einer Handvoll starker Bikemarken zusammen.
I mean, we don't have a lot of Me Too products. We don't do a lot of different bars. We don't do these stems. We don't do a lot of other products that it's not really our specialty. So for us, it's like, okay, some contact points, saddles and the seat posts and the grips. I think that we still need to do a better job. But even in a downtime, we need to keep innovating. We need to keep developing, testing, and to really kind of push forward, especially as a brand. You know, so everything that we design, like we tool and design from the ground up. So I mean, it's easy to go to Taiwan and hey, slap a logo on, but here's another bar, but there's a million bars. But what value can we bring to kind of, you know, I wouldn't say necessarily completely solve an issue, but we want to make the experience better. We want to be able to bring a better product out and from what we had 10 years ago. So it's a big point for us to really stay on top of, you know, some innovation and some design. Yeah, I mean, or we're just not a brand. I mean, you got to keep pushing.
SDG startete Anfang der 90er in einer Garage in Kalifornien. Kevlar-Bezüge für Sättel, später komplette Sättel für Marken wie Klein und Santa Cruz.
But how did this whole thing started? How did this started you doing SDG, you doing a lot of saddles for like all the pros in the world?
Yeah, you know, it was interesting is that, so SDG was founded like in a garage in 1993. The founder was big into motocross, big into surfing, and big into bikes. And so he developed the very first Kevlar cover, just went on top of an existing saddle.
Ah, okay.
And then he developed a saddle, and then it went from there. And then so in the early 90s, I mean, it was spec'd on almost every major brand, from the old school Klein to Giant to Santa Cruz, etc. But then, unfortunately, the shift started going, his interest went all to motocross, so he kind of moved away. So I came in as a marketing major for motocross. Mm-hmm. And the bicycle division, it was pretty much Jerome didn't put a lot of emphasis on it anymore because his all focus went to motocross seats. Mm-hmm. So about 6 months into the internship, I think he sold a bunch of seats in the back warehouse. And this is kind of interesting because he's like, I'll give you $1 for each one you sell. You know, a 20-year-old kid, I'm like, I just need $5. I just need to get gas money to go to the beach. And from there, I think the first month I sold almost 3,000 saddles. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so much money. And then so from 2001, started putting a little bit of CPR back in the brand and started sponsoring a couple riders. We got a couple distributors. You know, Gerhard at Cosmic Sports this is a funny story because I contacted him on my AOL account. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm like, hi, I am the new international sales manager for SDG. And Gerhard is like, we have a lot of interest in Germany, you know, for the brand. He's like, nobody's contacted me in 2 years. And so that started a relationship. We started doing some crazy styles, and again, some manual prints and some different designs on the original Bel Air. And he's like, hi, Tyler, is like, I need to order some more samples in. And we started cutting more fabric. We started getting orders. And so again, we just started to build like genuine relationships with everybody, you know, and that goes from to the UK to Silverfish, to Germany, to Finland, to New Zealand. You know, we were going around to a lot of different races, the Norba events. And again, like we did it very, very organically. Kind of been the foundation for SDG is people and building those genuine relationships that have lasted and time tested, you know, through turbulent times. You know, like the last 5 years hasn't been that enjoyable. So I think our focus here is, kind of bring back some fun and kind of keep it pretty real and like bring back the stoke. Yeah, so in 2009, we started building some momentum. We started getting, building some OEMs. We started to have, a good roster of athletes and some dealers and a couple key international distributors. And it just came to the point that time, like the shift was all going motocross and mini bikes and all types of stuff. And it's like, wow, like we got something really good going on here. So yeah, one thing led to another. In 2009, I formed a new corporation and acquired the assets of the bicycle division. So a couple patents, some trademarks, inventory, tooling, and we came here to this humble home in which we haven't moved. I mean, it was the cheapest place that was closest to my house that had a warehouse. So yeah, 2009, we separated it and just said, all right, here we go. So I had to borrow a bunch of money, paid it off, got a lot of support from Stella at Velo to kind of pay off some debt in Taiwan, and just said, here we are. I think I had $20,000 in the bank account, and just said, got a global brand. Like I said, I mean, it's been quite a journey, but I absolutely love it still. When we started sponsoring a bunch of the guys in the early 2000s, their parents would drop off, especially with Cam and Kyle Strait. And so Cam Zink and Kyle Strait, back in the days, they were, I think Kyle just won Seattle Classic, Chaotic Kyle, right? And so he won like at 13. We started sponsoring him at about 15. So they would come over and we would cut fabric in the back and make custom saddles. Animal prints, crushed velvets, chromes, all the crazy stuff back then. And so
they were doing it themselves?
Yeah, we would cut it and we designed the saddle, the different patterns. And then so the ladies in the back would sew it up and then they'd glue it and then we'd install the rails. So when they would leave, they would have a whole range of like custom saddles. So like very unique and very like, individualized, right? Troy Bronson's first World Cup win. This is the saddle from Fort William. 2014. Oh, he's so cool. He's just like super talented.
Yeah.
This one was really cool. It's like, when we did the storm seats with Sam Hill back in the days. So JC, his mechanic, was putting tire tread down for traction, especially in the World Cup courses. So there's an all-weather storm one that had knobs. And then this one also had really aggressive on the extreme. So initially they only had tire treads, but it was really aggressive. I mean, this is not, these are for extreme courses. But again, you're not really sitting down on a 3-minute course. And it turned out it was cool because then when he ended up going to Specialized, we made probably the only non-branded Specialized saddle was an SDG. But then we started doing some other kind of more gripper traction, like with the YT Mob. But through the years, I mean, we got like Danny Hart to the Cube team to Da Vinci to almost every World Cup team is using the I-beam. People, friends, partnerships, I think is a pretty loose term used these days, right? I mean, people actually mean it, but I think most of our partners we've had for over 20 years. Just good people. They know that it's a two-way street, and the riders turn into friends. Customers have turned into friends, dealers have turned into friends, and I think it just makes the job that much more enjoyable.
SDG ist nicht die Marke, die einmal ein Logo draufklebt und wieder weiterzieht. Viele Fahrer und Distributoren sind seit Jahrzehnten dabei. Aus Sponsorings wurden Freundschaften und teilweise werden die Sättel wirklich noch um Mitternacht in Bars auf Servietten designt.
This collaboration was pretty cool. This happened in a bar.
Bar.
Absolutely. So my buddy Tony at Silverfish UK, we were talking to his girlfriend at the time, painted surfboard fins for a lot of surf contests because she's super talented. And so, yeah, it basically started from there. The next day she started drawing on a template and we just made it happen.
Aber ein Produkt sticht in SDGs Palette vor allem heraus.
The Bel Air is our staple. I mean, we've had that now for almost 30 years, but it's kind of evolved from the original Bel Air to the Bel Air RL to the V2, and then we have the V3, and I'll show you a sneak peek of the V4 that we're working on.
Der Bel Air ist das Herzstück von SDG. Vom Erstmodell bis zum aktuellen V3 und der kommenden V4 war die DMA Trail- und Gravity-tauglich, komfortabel, aber nicht langweilig. Und ja, die Animal Print Jubiläumssättel sind tatsächlich die Bestseller.
Bestseller is, this year, ironically crazy. I mean, it was our Bel Air 3 in the animal print. So like So we had our 15-year anniversary. So I said, why not? Let's bring it back. And yet again, it's not for everybody. Last year we brought back kind of like it's been very turbulent the last few years, and everyone's just trying to sell closeouts. And we're like, well, let's still make some new limited batch run stuff because I think that's pretty cool. By far, our new Bel Air 3 platform is, so we have a Max, which is a little bit more e-bike centric, so it has a little bit more padding, more aggressive rear rise, and the standard Bel Air V3 is our top, as well as our new Tellus V2.
Okay. Aber nicht nur alltagstaugliche Sättel wie der Bel Air sind gefragt. Was ist eigentlich mit Racing und was ist aus I-Beam geworden?
Our passion, I think, is definitely the Bel Air, but of course on the racing, it's just we still have like the iFly with the I-Beam, which is very unique to SDG.
Yeah.
And that's why we're kind of having kind of an I-Beam rebirth now with the new aluminum, which would be really cool. Just because it's so unique, it's kind of the lightest and strongest system in the world. Again, it's not for everybody, but I mean for particular disciplines, like it works. Like Red Bull Rampage, you have all the guys, Deity is licensed in it. We're also talking to SQ Lab because we've made some samples for them on a new I-Beam, which I'll give you a sneak peek.
Super.
With the emergence of the dropper, we lost all I-Beam, only to a very small segment of the market, because the Tellus has done really well for us. I mean, it's just a dependable workhorse that just goes. The new V2, the whole game plan was to make the I-Beam cradle. So I could show you is that on the new low stack height of the cradle, it has the I-Beam head. So on the T2 is really, which is pretty nice, is that it has a really easy side access bolts. So now the game plan is that we'll have an interchangeable clamp. So it could either come with the I-Beam or you could upgrade to I-Beam. But for us, it's about having easy access, but then of course having internal flex, because now instead of the I-Beam before, it was very rigid. Of course, when you're sitting on a downhill horse for 3 minutes, you're not necessarily sitting, you just need the saddle to be there, help steer, and to be strong. So now if guys are in the saddle, you're gonna have a little bit more internal flex. And so this is gonna be our gravity post. But again, so this will be able to adapt to the new rail clamp as well as for I-Beam, so interchangeable.
So after the much success of our V1 dropper seat post, and we knew how well it performed and how simple it was to work on, we decided to go on to the V2, which for me, I've been a huge believer in the I-Beam forever, right? And I was with SDG from 2005 to 2010, and then in 2010 Tyler bought the company, and then I wanted to push for the I-Beam. And what we're able to do is we had a major manufacturer produce an I-Beam seat post, but not to our specs. So because of that, it didn't take off as well as we expected. So now that we had a chance to make our own dropper seat post, we knew that the cradle system of the I-Beam worked so well and worked up downhill that we wanted to push for something that was more of a alloy feature, something stronger, still easy to adjust, and super duper strong.
Früher war I-Beam das Ding für Rampage und World Cup-Fahrer. Mit Dropper Post wurde das System zur Nische. SDG arbeitet jetzt daran, das Ganze zurückzubringen. Mit einer Vario-Stütze, die man durch einen modularen Kopf sowohl mit klassischen Sattelrails als auch mit I-Beam fahren kann. Weniger Bauhöhe, mehr Stabilität, mehr Flex und vor allem wieder Raum für verrückte Sättel.
A lot has changed in 25 years since we started, or since I've started. We're still the same people. And we still want to innovate. We still want to. Yeah, of course, we run a for-profit enterprise, but I think there's an ethical way to do that. If you look in the short term, you're going to burn the bridges, you're going to burn the people, you're going to burn the riders, you're going to burn the distributors who supported you. And so for us, I think our philosophy is a little bit different. That's that, yeah, don't get me wrong. I mean, we need more money. We want to be able to increase turnover so we can develop more and bring better products to the market. So we're really limited. I mean, that's why we can't do a lot, but we're kind of picking and choosing our position. So I think as it's growing on a global front, we're still, I think our ethos are important. I think, yeah, we so kind of like this, we have this riding good company mantra. I wrote this manifesto, I think during the middle of the pandemic, where it's just like, why do we all get into outdoor sports? Why do we get into the bike industry? Because it was fun. I mean, you know, we wanted to make some cool shit. We wanted to connect with good people. And I think that we're still continuing doing that. When we first started, nothing's changed since then. Yeah, it's a little bit, you know, we're a little bit bigger now, but I think still keeping like the authentic, you know, approach, and again, like valuing people is really important for us.
So, das war unser Hausbesuch bei SDG. Ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen und ich hoffe, dass euch die Story, wie Tyler vom Praktikanten zum großen Firmenchef geworden ist, auch genauso begeistert hat wie uns. Wenn euch das alles gefallen hat, lasst gerne ein Like da. Wenn ihr noch Fragen habt, stellt sie in die Kommentare und über ein Abo vom Kanal würden wir uns natürlich freuen.